Good afternoon, everybody. I just wanted to take a quick second. If we could all turn, I believe it's to your right, and give mad love to these gentlemen over here, the Grayslake Fire Department. Thank you for coming out today, gentlemen. I also, what? I'm sorry.
We also have the police department represented here also.
I'm sorry, I did not want to leave out police department. I know Chris Connolly from the College of Lake County was here too. I think I saw him. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for everything that you do. Students, I know you guys were very young when this day happened, and I'm going to get a little emotional. I'm going to try not to. But you are in programs that will change the world, and we appreciate you coming out and taking the time out of your schedules to be students at the Tech Campus in human services in these programs. I also want to thank each and every one of your instructors for their hard work for today. It's a painful day, painful Saturday. I just want us all to be very thankful for everything we have. I want you all to have a very blessed weekend.
Good afternoon. At this time, we will begin our ceremony. I ask that during the ceremony, everybody please remain quiet. We will begin today with the honor guard and a reading of the names of some of the first responders lost on 9/11. As you'll see on our flag of heroes that we'll display in the front.
We will never forget 9/11 EMS. Ricardo Quinn, EMT paramedic, Mario Santoro, EMT paramedic, Jay Zhang, EMTD, Keith Farabin, EMTD, Joe Henry, EMTD, and Mitch Wallace, EMT.
We will never forget 9/11 New York Fire Department. Firefighter Michael C. Fior, firefighter Eric Allen, firefighter Thomas Gambino Jr., firefighter Kevin M. Pryor, Father Michael Judge, chaplain, New York Fire Department, Lieutenant Andrew Fredericks, firefighter John Correa.
We will never forget 9/11 Port Authority Police Department. Police Officer John Lennon, Police Officer John Levi, Police Officer James Lynch, Police Officer Kathy Mazza, Sergeant Robert Culfers, and Chief James Romito.
We will never forget 9/11 New York Police Department. Police Officer Jerome Dominguez, Police Officer Stephen Driscoll, Police Officer Ramon Suarez, Police Officer Santos Valentin, Sergeant John Coughlin, and Detective Joseph Vengiano.
Please join me now in the saying of the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As we approach the 10-year anniversary of the terrorist attacks on our country, we are gathered to honor those men and women, firefighters, police officers, EMS personnel, and civilians who lost their lives. This is such an important day to the fire service, to law enforcement, and to this great nation of ours. Each time we gather in memory, we should not only show respect and thanks, but commit ourselves to living up to the standards set by those we are paying tribute to. I feel truly honored and privileged to be standing here, remembering and honoring them, surrounded by all of you. For you are the future. You will be the next generation that carries the torch and continues the vital roles in public service. Today, it is not my intention to reopen the painful memories caused by these events, but instead to celebrate and recognize the service, duty, and lives of those we lost. Victims of 9/11 came from all walks of life, from over 115 different countries. They all had one thing in common. They did not deserve this fate. Some say they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. While that may be true for the civilian casualties, several hundred of the victims were our country's first responders, public servants who made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. How clearly I remember the terrible events of that morning in September. The world was transfixed by the horrific images being replayed on television screens and etched forever into our memory. Those of us in fire and police knew all too well the risks our brothers and sisters were taking in a valiant effort to save the lives of those in peril. We also remember the pride that we felt as we watched them stand courageous in the face of evil. Our thoughts are not only with those who perished at the towers, but also the Pentagon. And how could we forget the passengers of United Flight 93, whose "Let's Roll" battle cry led their attack on the hijackers, forcing the plane down into a field outside Pittsburgh. The terrorist plan to weaken America backfired as we pulled together as one nation. A common theme, or rather a promise, rang out across the nation, and it still rings true today. We promised that we will never forget. Time cannot weaken our resolve to remember the events of that infamous day, or the 343 firefighters, 23 police officers, and 37 Port Authority officers who we are still so proud of. We also must not forget those in the military who have lost their lives and those who daily put their lives on the line in Operation Enduring Freedom. At this time, I'd like to share a poem with you. It was written by Cheryl Sawyer. This poem was first shared with me by Mrs. Lyons. It is titled, "One." As the soot and dirt and ash rained down, we became one color. As we carried each other down the stairs of the burning building, we became one class. As we lit candles of waiting and hope, we became one generation. As the firefighters and police officers fought their way into the inferno, we became one gender. As we fell on our knees in prayer for strength, we became one faith. As we whispered or shouted words of encouragement, we spoke one language. As we gave our blood in lines a mile long, we became one body. As we mourned together the great loss, we became one family. As we cried tears of grief and loss, we became one soul. As we retell with pride of the sacrifices of the heroes, we become one people. We are one color, one class, one generation, one gender, one faith, one language, one body, one family, one soul, one people. We are the power of one. We are united. We are America. Please join me now as we bow our heads and reflect on the events of September 11th, while our bell tones in the long-held tradition, signifying that their duty is done. They have completed their last call. And so today, we once again keep alive the promise our nation made on September 11th, 2001. We will never forget. Thank you, everyone. This ends our ceremony for today. Honor Guard. Thank you, everyone.